Greetings, young men. This is Principal Kafele. Sitting here, I think this is my third message to your son I'm making here in my Atlanta, Georgia hotel room. As you see, I'm kind of taking it down. I'm not dressed to speak. I got a long drive today to Troy, Alabama. But enough about me. Let's talk about you before I jump in the car and start this 3-hour drive. My message to you today: rejection is a part of life. Once again, rejection is a part of life. What am I saying? I'm saying to you, young men, that despite everything that you've heard from others and certainly everything that you've heard from me about maintaining a positive attitude, maintaining a positive outlook, striving to achieve your goals, striving to maximize your potential, within all that, there's negativity as well that we have to be able to endure and withstand. There's rejection that we have to be able to endure and withstand, if not grow from. See, everything is not going to be hunky-dory. Everything's not going to go our way. There are going to be times when we think it's going our way, when we think things should go our way, and then here comes this roadblock. Here comes this obstacle. And in this regard, that obstacle is rejection. Here's what I mean. Let's place you in high school. Some of you watching this video, you probably are in high school. But if those of you who are not, let's place you there for the sake of discussion here. I'm saying to you, here you are, this high school student, and you've made the decision that you want to go on to college. So you compile a list of colleges that you want to send your resume to, your application to, and you're excited about the prospects of attending one of these colleges, being accepted into one of these colleges, and then you get a letter back in the mail that says you're being rejected, that they're not going to be able to accept you for whatever the reason. So they're called rejection letters. That is not the time to go into depression. That is not the time to become overly sad and disappointed. Of course, some level of disappointment will kick in, but it can't stop you. It can't derail you. It can't deter you from continuing to pursue acceptance into some college or university. Maybe this particular one didn't accept you. No problem. That college may not accept you, and therefore they're not going to have the benefit of you being on their campus, quite frankly. But there's some other college out there. There's some other university out there. There's some other college or university that's going to be a great fit for you. You just have to persevere. You just have to be persistent in pursuing it. You can't receive the rejection letter and then go into depression or quit or give up and say, oh, forget this. It's not worth it to me. So many of us, that's what we do. We may get a rejection letter or 2 or 3 or 4, maybe even 10, and then go into depression. Nobody wants me. Nobody will accept me. Let me try something else. No. Through your life's journey, there will be rejection. In this example, I use being accepted into a school. It could be accepted into some other kind of a program. It could be employment. It could be some job. So employment. It could be toward the pursuit of your career or your profession. Rejection after rejection after rejection. I remember when I was writing my first book many years ago, back in 1991, and couldn't get a publisher to publish my book. Rejection. Had a manuscript all ready to go, but rejection. I didn't give up. I kept pushing, kept pushing, kept pushing. Well, here we are now, about 23 years later. That book was a bestseller a couple of times and it's still out there on the market selling. But had I caved into the rejection of no one would publish it, then the book would have never come into fruition and become an asset to so many parents because it was a book for parents. So I didn't let rejection do me in. I didn't cave into rejection. Seeking jobs. There was so much rejection, particularly when I was striving to become a classroom teacher. School districts saying no. People interviewing me saying no. Rejection. But here I am now. I've taught for 7 years and was a principal for 14, and now I'm an international education consultant. Imagine I had caved in to the rejection of not receiving a job as a classroom teacher. But I didn't. I kept believing. So I persevered. I kept pushing. And here I am now. So I'm saying to you, young men, rejection is going to come your way. Anticipate it, expect it. It's coming. The question is, how are you going to deal with it? The question is, how are you going to respond to it? How are you going to react to it? I'm saying to you, when it happens, accept it as just something that happens in life. Don't let it discourage you. Don't let it deter you. Don't let it distract you. Don't let it discourage you. Don't cave in from it. Just say, okay, that door is not open. I have to find another door. That's all. And you find another door and that'll open. Maybe a second door will close. Maybe a third door will be closed. Maybe a fourth door, fifth door, 10th door, 20th door. Doors close in the real world. This is not some TV show or some movie where there's some happy ending. Doors do close. Opportunities do disappear. But it's the strong people, the strong-willed people who really want it, who are really determined, who really want to go after whatever this is that you're trying to pursue. That despite the number of no's and despite the number of doors closing, despite the number of rejections, those people say, I will attain it. I will achieve it despite what I'm dealing with now. And I won't be discouraged. I won't let it affect my attitude. I will maintain a positive attitude at the highest levels. I'm telling you, young men, that's how you got to make it happen. And as I always say, make sure that you continue to be around other positive people. People of like mind who can also encourage you in a time of possible discouragement. Make sure that you align yourselves with individuals like that. So rejection, no big deal. Use it as a stepping stone to get to where you are. When I reflect back, I'm thankful for the rejections I had because the rejections made me stronger. The rejections became my footstool. The rejections became my stair step to get to where I am now. And without those rejections, I may not have had the strength. I may not have had the fortitude to get to where I am now. But the rejections were the propeller that enabled me to get that lift that I needed to get to where I am now, but more importantly, to get to where I am going. So enough said. I think I've said enough on that topic. So let's go. Let's do it. Let's get it done. Let's make it happen. This is Principal Kafele. Thanks for listening. Peace.